Now, part of me thinks we could get a title change at this show. We know we're going to get new tag team champions on the Raw side of things. It's very possible that the US or IC title changes hands, but we also have 2 world titles on the line as well. One of them being AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and the other one being Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar inside of a steel cage. Now, a lot of people have speculated that this was Vince's grand plan to change the match at WrestleMania in order to have Roman Reigns win the match at this show instead and win the title, because he will get a much better reaction in Saudi Arabia. That crowd is going to be jacked. They never get WWE over there live. They're not jaded like all of us American fans. They're probably going to be very energetic, and they're going to pop for a lot of people, and they, I'm sure, don't hate Roman Reigns nearly as bad as people do here in the States. So if they're going to do that, that's a pretty brilliant move by Vince McMahon if you have Roman Reigns win the title in a situation where you replay in the future and years to come, you look back at the night that Roman winning, at least you have him in an environment where he's holding up the belt and celebrating and the crowd is going nuts. If you did it at WrestleMania, the crowd would literally be flinging turds at the guy. So this might be a better way. And plus it's a cage match. So you could do some shady shit here. You could have Brock drop the belt without even really having to get beat. Maybe Samoa Joe, maybe a light bulb goes off in his head and says, holy shit, if I go out there and help Roman Reigns win the title, that means I get a title shot at Backlash, because Roman and Joe are facing each other at Backlash. Joe is a SmackDown guy now, but hell, who cares? That could be your first big title match, and Roman could potentially drop the belt, and that could go over to SmackDown with Samoa Joe. I don't think that's going to happen, and I don't even think right now, I could change my mind by next week, but right now I don't think that Roman Reigns is going to win the title against Brock. I see how everybody thinks that. It makes sense. Trust me, I get it. It makes perfect sense that this is something that Vince McMahon would want to do, have Roman Reigns win the belt in a place where he is guaranteed to get cheered. Brock has held that title for over a year. At this point, I felt you might as well just have him hold it until SummerSlam. That way he beats CM Punk's title run. WWE always likes doing stuff like that. When Brock Lesnar left and went to the NFL back in 2004, they immediately put the belt on Randy Orton. They had him beat Chris Benoit at SummerSlam. That way Randy Orton would be the youngest champion in WWE history instead of Brock Lesnar. So CM Punk, even though he's not had the longest run in WWE history, he's had the longest one in modern times. So to have Brock Lesnar kind of beat that streak and beat that record might be something WWE wants to do there. We still have no clue what the status of Brock Lesnar's contract is, if it's a long-term deal, if it's a short-term deal, whatever the hell's going on there. We really have no idea. So I think it's definitely possible